guys! So as many of you know, one of my favorite mediums to use is color pencils, and my favorite color pencils to use are Prismacolors. They are very smooth and I love the colors, and I have a lot of these. So I have 3 colored pencil pictures that I'm currently working on, and none of them I videoed from the beginning. So I thought I need to get those done, but I also do kind of want to show them to you all, even if I haven't done a full time lapse of the whole drawing. So in this video, I'll be coloring them for you in time lapse and giving some tips and tricks and some things I like about them, some things maybe I don't like about them. And I hope you enjoy the video and the drawings, and let's get into it. So this first picture that you get to see me working on is definitely one of my favorite drawings I'm working on at the moment. And I'm working on a lot, so that's saying something. But I got the idea for this late at night one day, and instead of working on it that night, I thought maybe I'll get around to it sometime within the next day, the next week. I do have several other pictures that I'm needing to work on, so I thought, I don't know, maybe I should hold this off. But the very next day, I got my sketchbook out and I started sketching it, and so from there I just couldn't stop, so I had to keep going on drawing it. The basic idea that I came up with is drawing people I know, and that's me and my 2 friends there, and then turning us into some type of fantastical, like fantasy creature, mythological creature. In this I can't talk, guys. In this picture, we are fairies, as you can see from the pointed ears. And yeah, I was very excited about this idea. I'll probably continue it with more people, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if you haven't noticed, which I'm sure you have, I've been using my phone as a reference. There's nothing wrong with using reference pictures, guys. It doesn't make you any less of an artist. It makes you better, and it doesn't stop your creativity whatsoever. It just helps with getting the proportions right and making it look as real as possible, or helping you get inspired, coming up with new ideas. So I use a reference picture quite a bit of the time, especially whenever I'm drawing something specific, like a person or something that needs to be proportional, or I'm not quite sure how to draw it, I will use a reference picture. As you can see, I am doing right now, I am working on the hair. My favorite thing to do, just basically with everything I draw, is adding a lot of color, and maybe it doesn't have to be obviously a lot of color. Just add color to give it more depth, make it more interesting. And Prismacolor pencils are really good with that because I can blend them so easily. So for example, I use purple or dark blue or green or something for the shadows, and then I can go over it with a brown or red or another color, and then it doesn't stand out too much. It doesn't look awkward sitting there on the page, just a random green spot, but the pencils allow me to blend it together, and that is definitely one of my favorite things about these pencils. They are smooth and they blend together. Those are the 2 main things. When blending them, I used to use my finger, but I was told that puts oil on the page and they just get in there too tightly, and so it doesn't work very well. So what I use to blend is a blender stick, and also a white pencil, which is what I'm doing on the shirt right now. But yeah, I would suggest using a blending stick that's made for colored pencils. Prismacolor has one of those. Also, you can use, I didn't use it in this picture, but you can use a Q-tip dipped in alcohol. Dipped in rubbing alcohol. It blends pretty well, just don't use too much of it, but it does work. When using colored pencils, one of my biggest problems used to be, and still is sometimes, getting the pencil smeared on the paper where I don't want it. What I'm using right now is a plastic paper sheet, and that works wonders. You just need to rest your hand on that while you color the page in front of it, and it works perfectly. So now I'm just adding shadows, and I hardly ever use a bland color like black for shadows. Actually, that's really the only color I try not to use as much. I do use it sometimes because sometimes I need that darkness in my picture. But a lot of times I try to use purple or brown or gray even sometimes. And yeah, just try to stay away from using too much black. You don't have to completely stay away from it, but get more creative with the shading colors you use. In this picture I'm working on right now, I actually used red a lot and purple for the shading colors. The reason I used red was because it is the opposite color of green on the color wheel, and if you take color theory, you'll learn that those two colors cancel each other out and are really good for coloring in shadows. And also purple works well too, just because I found that's a pretty good all-around shading color for using on anything. So here's just a tip for coloring in general. I know sometimes it is a very good thing to take shortcuts if you can and not waste too much time on any specific part of a picture, or else it'll just take an eternity. But many times it is also very good to give that attention to small details, and that's what I'm doing on this picture with the leaves. They take forever to color, but I do try to make them as detailed as possible. I draw each single leaf and then draw the shadows in between, and it'll, even in the big picture, it'll make your artwork look better if it's more detailed in the small areas. So don't be afraid to give that attention to detail, even if you know it'll take a while. So let's see, what do I want to say next? Okay, throughout the video you've seen me using a pencil sharpener because they constantly need sharpening. One of the problems with Prismacolor pencils, because they are so soft and so smooth, they break pretty easily. I really don't know if there's a way around that if you want the pencil to be as smooth as they are, but they do break, and when sharpening them you have to be very careful. So a sharpener that I found to work quite well in sharpening these pencils is a wooden sharpener, and that's the one I've been using in this video. It is really nice, and I would suggest you trying it out. I used to use metal sharpeners, and this one that I have now, the wood one that I have now, seems to be better on the pencils than the metal ones were. So I haven't had it for very long, but so far it does a pretty good job. So I've just been showing you a little up close video of the pictures. I'll be posting them on Instagram as soon as I finish each of them. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much for watching. I hope some of the tips in this video were helpful to you all. Let me know in the comments below if you have your own Prismacolor pencils or want to buy some. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.